Governor Bill Richardson is running out of both time and money. He has just a few weeks left in office and just a few million federal stimulus dollars left to spend. But the wild horse sanctuary that he wants to spend those millions on has a lot of people saying, whoa, Nelly. Can he get his pet project approved before time runs out? Here's Dean Staley with tonight's special assignment.
Like our citizens, this administration has tightened its belt since this recession began.
In his State of the State address last spring,
I implemented a hiring freeze more than a year ago.
Governor Richardson painted a dark picture of the state's finances.
Painfully, I ordered 5 furlough days for about 17,000 employees.
Of the $58 million of federal stimulus money the governor had discretion over, he doled out millions to shore up critical services like education and public safety. But he also set aside nearly $3 million for wild horses. Specifically, the governor wants to buy this ranch south of Madrid. If he gets his way, the 11,000-acre property will be the state's first wild horse refuge.
That might have lots of merit if you have tons of money.
John Arthur Smith is a state senator and budget hawk from Deming. He says the $3 million for the ranch would be just the beginning.
That particular expenditure is also going to require a reoccurring expenditure for an expansion of a state park, and we can't fund the parks we have right now.
Smith says that could add as much as $1 million a year to the budget for state parks.
Hey, buddy.
That's Valerie Cole and her horse, Red. Cole is the secretary-treasurer of the New Mexico Horse Council. Nobody cares more about horses than she does.
Stimulus money is a surprise to us.
Cole's group supports the idea of a wild horse refuge, but even she has reservations.
I have several fears about it. One is that it's a zero-sum game, and if we use it even to acquire recreational land, that it might take away from programs that are being cut back that benefit children and the elderly, just to benefit a few horses.
All of the federal stimulus money flows through the state's Office of Recovery and Reinvestment. Former Governor Tony Anaya leads the effort.
Funding is available. It's not taking it away from anybody else.
How can you say, I'm sorry, but how can you say they're not taking it away from anyone else? There's a long list of people right now who depend on money from the state to run different programs, whether it's law enforcement, public safety, health programs, all asking for more money.
They have every agency, to my knowledge, and we sit here and look at all the applications that the governor sends over and the allocations that he makes. I cannot think of any area that the governor has not been extremely generous.
Anaya admits the $3 million ranch would be just the beginning of the state's expense, with more money needed to run it as a state park. Governor, are you saying we're doing so well that we have $3 million to spend on a wild horse property?
I'm saying that the state of New Mexico is suffering, that there are still a lot of needs, and that the governor needs to balance what is going to be spent today for today's needs.
Ultimately, the horse refuge will have to be approved by the state finance board. That includes board member and state treasurer James Lewis.
I feel at this point this is something that probably should not be coming up at this time when we have all these other demands. We have all the other needs. You're talking about Medicaid, Medicare. You're talking about a lot of issues, a lot of different deficiencies.
There's one more thing you should know about a wild horse refuge. Wild horses are not endangered. In fact, there are so many of them on public lands here in New Mexico and all across the West that the BLM has to remove 10,000 of them every year just to keep the herds in check. On special assignment, Dean Staley, KRQE News 13.
All right, here's what's cooking on this deal. The Board of Finance meets next Tuesday. It's not known if the Wild Horse Sanctuary will be on the agenda then. Richardson, Lieutenant Governor Diane Dennis, James Lewis, and 4 Richardson appointees are on that board. Now, Lewis, as you just heard, has doubts. Dennis has publicly opposed the sanctuary. The Richardson appointees would appear to hold the balance of power.